Hello, ladies and gentlemen. The Badger Lord is here again. Give me just a second here to make sure my chat destinations are working. That's not particularly impressive. Oh, sorry, yeah, I forgot to... I really should check things more carefully. Yep. Alright. I don't know why it keeps doing this. Come on, come on. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, come on. Load up. But I'm not. Oh, jeez. Okay. On the off chance anybody can hear me. What do you mean I'm logging into a new? No, I'm not. Alright. Yep. Not now. Okay, good. It looks like something's being picked up. That's a good sign. Alright. Good, good. Tells me that Restreamio is not functioning properly.
The most recent champion of our retro game
shush. We'll come back to you, Pinoy Gaming. Oh, yes. Very good. And I'm just gonna make sure... Yeah, so we're gonna keep going with Tropico, such as I said we would. But I also want to make sure that my streams are working properly, because if they're not, well, why bother, you know? It seems to be working, though. Okay. Yep, definitely working. I don't know what the issue is. I presume it's working, though, so let's get into it. Actually, I will try one thing to see if it's working properly. Yeah, we'll try that. See that, yep, okay. I don't know why the interface for Restreamio is not registering Twitch as offline and YouTube as offline, but, well, here we are. I will say this, though. We are going to go back into Tropico, into this build that we're doing here. This new build. This more idyllic build. Now, the thing that I've kind of worked out in my own mind about such things is that I do want to make... power crops. Absolute power is kind of neat. I want to make a functioning society because a functioning society is kind of an attractive thing. I want to make a society that's not only profitable, but that also treats its workers well. And helps people to meet their needs.
What do you want? I'm busy ruling.
Oh, we have a protester on the beach. All right, beach party. Yeah, let's do it.
Buenas tardes.
Unfortunately, he's not the only one. But I'm gonna go to his party because this one's kind of lame. I mean, who wants to...
Sir,
uh-oh.
The number of rebels on the island is growing higher. We should take adequate precautions.
Never fear, President.
Actually, I'm gonna need to go over there.
Better move it.
So money is not a concern at this time, but rebels are okay. Yeah. WASD keys do not work in Tropico because it is a city sim.
Uh-huh.
Never fear, President.
Oh, this is bad. Too many protests, man. Okay, we got priests, though, which is a good thing we did. That'll help a lot. What else can we do to help things along? Let's see. Housing quality is going down, as to be expected. Religion's down. It will go up, however. Healthcare is going up. Food quality is going up. Crime safety is middling. Environment's bad. I don't know why we have a rebel. We certainly don't need to have one. Alright. I really hope I can get this sort of commune thing going in a suitable way before too long. Otherwise, this could be a very short playthrough. Bunkhouses at 0 because their substandard living is, I think, reasonable.
I have some good news, sir. The rebels are afraid of our military's might.
That might be the case. I hope they just came back to civilization. How many rebels do we have? You can look this up by job, if I'm not mistaken. That might be the case. I could be entirely wrong.
¿Qué necesitas?
Let's see if we can find this guy. He's probably among the less... His name was Celio, if I'm not mistaken. He was probably not very happy with his situation in life. He was protesting, after all. It's a good thing there are not many people yet. Because otherwise this would be just about impossible. Actually, there is an easier way to find out if we have any rebels. Where is it? We'd need a Minister of Defense. Conscription, martial law, lure the reb... We still have a rebel, I think. Maybe it doesn't detect it until we have a Minister of Defense. I don't know why I keep trying to use the WASD keys. Actually, I do. The reason is, because every other civilized game uses them. Maybe I should mark my movement keys to them. Because I'm getting tired of hitting WASD and...
Presidente, the leader of the communists is stirring up trouble again. His incessant negative comments are costing me money.
This is not part of a free and democratic, or even a just society. Go away. Thank you. Oh, I still have one of those? Ugh, get rid of it. And worse yet, somebody actually lives in it? Ugh, why would you do that to yourself? Especially when there's room in a bunkhouse, and there will be more. Hey, you.
See?
I'm not gonna kill him. This is not Old Testament times. That is not necessary. Let's see. Might be if I don't get some stuff together here. If I don't get my act together, it might be necessary. I'm not gonna do that. What I might do, however... Ooh... Unfortunately, that requires high school workers. The bright side of this, however, is we almost have a high school. A high school for creating policemen and priests. Something about that doesn't sit well with me for some reason. Okay. Tell you what, though. I'm not rushing for a foreign minister for the simple reason that my playstyle simply doesn't incorporate that. Excuse me. I might do houses later, but I think I want individual housing for everybody. Ooh, no. Make things line up. Make them look nice. Also, do cows graze very well in the forest? I somehow suspect not. So, let's build a lumber camp, too. At least that seems to be a good idea to me. Keep people employed. Do we have people employed? Oh, yeah, we got plenty of job positions. That's not a problem. Alright. Yeah. So, while we wait for things to be built up... Excuse me a second here. Okay. You do not need to be subjected to me blowing my nose. It's quite bad enough that I'm eating and coughing in front of you. And I'll be a bit more judicious about that. Trying.
Of a high school in Tropico,
Oh, great, yeah. It is, well, and I say this especially in light of the stupidity that's going up on the screen right now. Feel free to ignore it if you like. It's gonna be Ash Wednesday, this coming Wednesday coming up here. I said coming like 3 times. Oh gosh, what do I have on my mind? Anyway, Ash Wednesday. Ash Wednesday is... It's a time for Christians in the Western tradition, Catholics, Anglicans, Lutherans especially, to think about in what ways can we improve how we connect to the Almighty. You know, to the guy for whom we build these churches so that we can worship him. You know? Maybe you don't. You might see people walking around with ashes on their forehead, which is an odd thing to do, because, yeah, why put a bunch of smut on your face, especially when you talk about not putting smut into your heart? Isn't that a bit hypocritical of you, or at least weird? Well, I am here to tell you that, yes, it is indeed weird, but it does serve a purpose, or it's supposed to anyway. The general idea being, well, as the priest says, and we all know this, Ben Franklin said that the only 2 things that are certain in life are death and taxes. The priest says, on Ash Wednesday, when you receive your ashes, thou art dust, and to dust thou shalt return, or some variation thereof. This is a reminder of our mortality. But not just that, but also what the cause of it is. You see, we are not prone to die just because God has a sadistic streak. I wonder sometimes if that might be part of it. He does, in the Old Testament, I've been going through the Bible in a year, and it can get pretty violent at times, so you do wonder. But it is also because when you do... What am I trying to say here? We're called to live excellent lives. And when we fail to do that, there's something in us that has gotten bent out of shape. Or we've cast off something, we've thrown something away that we need in our human constitution. Some people throw away patience with their neighbor because they feel that a solution to problems needs to be found now.
Most blessed Presidente, the time has come for us to plan the construction of a new cathedral, a true monument to our faith that will make all the Caribbean green with envy. For envy is a sin, and the more sinful they are, the more pious we will be by comparison.
Oh, Father Esteban, you do know that scandalizing the faithful is in itself a sin, and therefore engendering envy in another person is still a sin. Still, I do think building a cathedral is a good idea. I just wish I had the money for it. Unfortunately, I don't. And we're probably not going to, at least not for a while. Maybe. We are raking in a lot of cash. But, okay. But Ash Wednesday. Some of us lose patience with others because we feel the demand for things like justice so heavily. I understand that. I understand the desire for justice. If I were not such a... one might say a realist. Shush, go away. A realist is not really realistic. He does not... A realist is somebody who perceives the limitations of humanity, but not necessarily what humanity is trying to get at. A realist is somebody who is not trying to be excellent, or who does not believe he can be excellent. And sometimes we lose our patience with supposedly realistic people.
President, the U.S. Senate is not happy with you and expects urgent measures.
When I say realism, what I mean is... when we realize that ideals are difficult to achieve because of several obstacles, and we busy ourselves with trying to deal with those obstacles, or trying to mollify those obstacles, I suppose, rather than actually addressing the thing that those obstacles are preventing us from doing. For instance, an idealist wants to help the poor. Because obviously, we want to help the poor to live as good of lives as we would like.
Uh-huh.
A realist is somebody who realizes that the only people who can help the poor are the rich, or at least those richer than the poor, and a lot of them are just busy trying to scrape a living for themselves, or protect their vast hordes of wealth such as they have. I have not decided whether I want to do that yet. Crude oil is very valuable. And I'm not sure that I'm into mining resources. Certainly not just yet. At any rate, the sins of the idealist and the sins of the realist are such that one hamstrings his ability to do good, such as he might have, on account of his cowardice, and the impatient person hamstrings his ability to do good by condemning people who have the capacity and excluding them from the possibility of doing good because they are want-wits and because they are cowards. And I agree, these are horrible and heinous sins, both of being so zealous that you endanger your own project, and also of being so pragmatic that you don't get anything practical done. Ash Wednesday is a time to remember that our sins are not finalities, that we can recover from them, perhaps slowly, perhaps instantaneously, if by the will of God, but that ultimately it comes down to that. Ash Wednesday is about recognizing that we're all going to die someday, and we're probably going to leave a lot undone that we want to get done, or that we should want to get done. We want to do great things in the name of God, and we fail. We fail a
Never
lot.
fear, Presidente is here.
Perhaps we fail to want good things. Perhaps some people do fail to want to help the poor. I think most people don't fail to want to help the poor so much as they fail to want to take the steps that would be necessary. $5,000 is not enough. It's a good idea, but it's not enough. I think we are making enough money at this point, even without oil, that we don't actually need to mine resources right now. We don't even need oil, frankly. I decided early on that I do not want to have factories. Factories go against this ideal that I'm going for here. What instead I'm trying to shoot for is having at least a lot of country houses, if not actual houses. Actual houses would be even better. Maybe condominiums, but I'm not sure. Probably not. Where are we seeing a drop? Church is going up. Great. Okay, let's get... since we have the money, I see no reason not to build a garbage dump. Let's do that, shall we? Where would be a good place to build a garbage dump? Somewhere where people are not going to be highly concerned. Okay. That seems as good as any place. That'll do fine. For the time being. I could quick build that. That might not be a bad idea. Are we letting in enough people? I get the feeling we might not be doing that, which is kind of important at this early stage. I play on this game partly because I'm frustrated in my attempts to do any good for the poor. Partly also because I'm a bit scared to do so myself in real life. I should not be scared to do so. God has been very good to me. He's seen to my needs. Well, and he says as much. You are worth more than many sparrows, he says, in the Gospels. But I admit, half the reason that I do this is because, well, at least I can help these guys. Helping is as easy as laying down some blueprints and having them build their own housing. It's as easy as just telling them what to do. And some people only need a good manager. Some people only need good guidance. Julius Caesar was a tyrant, and he led to the creation of a state which created a great deal of chaos in future centuries. Not all of it is down to him, but part of it is down to the corruption and weakness of the Roman Republic. But he certainly didn't help things, and deciding to found imperial dynasties as the supposed solution to corruption was maybe not his finest idea. There is a channel on YouTube, which I shall not name, which actually makes the case that he committed genocide and that he is evil and corrupt for destroying democratic institutions. I'm not sure what to think of this, but I do think less of Caesar on account of this presenter's explanations, which I do think have some compelling witness to them. How many did I place? 5? 6? 7. So when I'm doing this, I'm certainly not holding myself up as a model moral citizen. I'm holding myself up as aspiring to want to be good, but that does not mean I am a good person. I would like to do this if I had the power to, but I should not have the power to. Instead, on Wednesday and for the next 6 weeks of the Christian year, I hope to be spending more time refocusing my life. It doesn't mean I'm going to give up gaming, though. Not by a long shot. Again, I just came back. I'm not gonna leave very quick. I'm not gonna leave as quickly as I came back. I'm gonna keep doing this, and I might open up another day. But I want to change and focus why I'm gaming on this channel. Man, I wish I could play the music, but that would get me a copyright strike.
God told me last night that he has a mission for you.
I would play Kevin MacLeod's music, but I would need to create a credits screen for that, and I don't have the... That would require me to take down the name of every track that I'd be putting in, and I don't want to do that. I will build a new church, however. I do want to do that, and I can. I can certainly afford to. Where would be a good place for a new church? Where do you think? Probably... maybe off here. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. That and build a garden over here, just to give some form to things. Come on. Come on. That's fine, but... No. Where's the good one? Where's the circular one? Aha! That's the one. Aha! Yeah. Plop it right in front of the church here. There we go. So anyway, I do want to take this channel in a more focused direction than I have been thus far. I've been playing Tropico, and I'm more than content to do so because, Well, this feeds my aspirations. I'm not gonna say it's my ideal model government by any means. I mean, I'm not interested in democracy, I'm not pro-monarchy or anything like that. I hardly think much of political solutions, if I'm being perfectly honest. I don't think politics is the best means of solving things, despite the insistence and the propaganda of the American media, which insists that democracy is the best solution to every problem. That's right, I did say propaganda. That at least tells you my feelings on what I've been fed since I was a child about democracy. But that doesn't mean that I think politics is entirely useless. And it doesn't mean that I think that totalitarians and dictators are the right answer either. No, I want to focus my channel on what I think is the solution, or what I would like to, I hope I can focus my channel on what I think is the solution. The real solution, it seems to me, to bad governance and to the decline of Western civilization.
Are you a rebel? Make it so.
If you like to put it that way, is to try and inculcate better values. I don't mean moralizing, although I've been doing plenty of that this stream, and I kind of do it on all of my streams. To the detriment of the audience, I'm sure. Of which there is pretty much zero, as I understand. No. Nope. As a matter of fact, save that. Yep. I want to try and make beauty. This is not a thing that I'm very good at. I'm not very good at making beauty. I'm used to playing my games for strategic purposes. I'm not very good at strategy, but I'm pretty decent. I'm decent. I'm not good, but I'm fine at strategically building things. Building things so that they're efficient, so that they cost less, so that they make me more money. You know, strategy. I want to get beyond that, though, because strategy is not universally applicable, and insofar as strategy is applicable to real life, it needs to be applicable to one's goals. And in real life, one's goals ought not to be merely maximizing profit and population and artificial quality of life. It's quite easy to do that just by spamming things in an ugly fashion. For instance, I don't need to put all these trees and lined parkways here. I could just spam trees in a random area and raise beauty very easily and artificially that way. If I wanted to, I don't need to build country houses or bunk houses. I could just, and you saw before, I could just use my diplomatic ministry, get a council of ministers, and just spam apartments in order to get people decent housing, and that'd be pretty easy.
The morale of the men is low, sir. We should appease our comrades in arms.
I'll do okay, that's not a good sign. Maybe I should increase wages some. No, go away. I get the feeling I'm going to lose this game pretty quickly here, if I don't do something. Any chance of getting a college? That might be a wise idea. But before I do that, okay, so happiness has been going up slowly and not satisfactorily. That camp's gonna go away eventually, and I need to do something. Oh, it's gone, as a matter of fact. What I want to try to do with this channel, though, okay, I do want to continue to play games half decently, and I'm not going to sacrifice, well, I'm not going to completely sacrifice quality of gameplay. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm not going to play God mode, because that's not what I want to do. But I am, well, not most of the time. But I do want to make not only beautiful looking things, but also want my societies to function more or less naturally and more or less like a naturally good society. A society full of imperfect people, but people who are getting their needs met so that they can be better than they would usually be under other extenuating circumstances, if you catch my drift.
Morning, Presidente. Do you remember the promise you made last night during our tutoring session?
I'm all for education, and I'm all for grade school, honestly. That would increase respect with the intellectuals, who I'm not going to be getting a whole lot of points with, I don't think. Plus, it'll increase the intelligence of our citizens, and I'm in favor of that. But I do need to keep working on industry. Anyway, okay. I keep breaking up the pace of what I'm trying to say and what I'm trying to think of. Maybe I'm breaking up the pace because I don't have anything useful to say. Or maybe I'm just trying to fill dead air. That probably is the case. I can talk well, but honestly, I don't know how or why to talk. I just kind of talk when I feel I ought to, and that's never a good thing to do. One should not talk just because he feels he ought. Because, well, feelings can be very errant. Anyway, but I do want to play the games that I play going forward well, but to some degree, I'm willing to sacrifice that to a beautiful-looking society, but also a society that functions beautifully as well in my simulations. He says as he considers placing a garage right outside of a sugar plantation. Let me rethink this. So I placed that there. Why did I place that there? I placed that there because I wanted to build housing here, right? Yes. Stop, you're not Tom Nook, okay? To this end, I'm going to try not only to play Tropico, though I will keep doing that because honestly it is a good game and it's a good example of, well, of my aspirations, at least in terms of results, if not in method. I aspire to have good societies where everybody's needs are cared for, both physical and mental and both. Physical, mental, and spiritual.
What matter requires Presidente's attention?
I aspire to that, and I actually have no idea how to do that within the context of anything that's going on here. So the next best thing is to dream about it. But I'm also going to, aside from building nice societies in Tropico, I'd also like to play I'd also like to build good architecture and maybe get involved with some communities where that sort of thing goes on, where good buildings are being built, where good societies are being cultivated, like this. I don't want to do this alone, in other words. Especially because I tend to put my foot in my mouth a lot, in case you haven't noticed. And when I do that, everybody is worse off. You become confused because I say something that I may not have intended to. Because, like certain public officials, I'm not always thinking clearly when I have a mouse in my hands, and so therefore, I'm not always someone you should take on face value.
According to early reports, a fight has started between the minister wannabes.
Judging by the number of applications we received, this means that Tropico is officially in a state of civil war.
You'll have to do. Why is it that everybody has some defect of character? Fine, you. I just want to hang out with more people, and people who like doing good things, things that look good, and cultivating healthy societies. I want to hang out with people who want to cultivate healthy societies, is what I think I'm trying to say. To that end, I'd like to play other games, multiplayer games in particular. One game I've been playing lately is called Valheim, for instance, which is an interesting game in its own right, if you've ever heard of it. If you haven't, I highly recommend giving it a look, even if... Okay, and for a heads up, it's not a city-building game. It's actually more like a role-playing game slash open-world sandbox. Look it up if you have no idea what it is, and you might not just from listening to me, and I wouldn't blame you. I would like to begin playing it on another day during the week, and maybe finding a server of people to play Valheim with.
How could they? I cannot believe that El Presidente has built a garbage dump over my favorite meadow. So many natural treasures lost forever. 25 different plant types, 12 different reptile species, and one cute bunny.
God, you will be missed. Oh, please. I hate how affected those lines are when they come out. Ooh. But I almost want to shut the radio off when I'm playing this game. And you know what? I might go ahead and get together Kevin MacLeod's tropical music list and just put forward the credit. I might go ahead and just do that, because the radio announcers have gotten tiring over the years, because they sound so stilted and affected. Anyway. But the kind of reverb and review, for my own clarity as much as anybody's, what I intend to do with this channel, I would like in the future to continue playing Tropico, but not just for the sake of building nice-looking communes, but also for making well-functioning societies. No, we're going to keep the logging camps because they're very useful, hon. I'm sorry you can't appreciate that, but you have to learn to live with differences. Okay, I'm going to build nice societies in Tropico, and I would like to take another day, at least, to play in Valheim, which is an extraordinarily good game where you can build tremendous things. It's a challenging game. You're always fighting things because there are always things jumping out at you. But it's a beautiful game for a game that looks like it came off of a PS2. And you can do... And architecturally, you can do a lot. You can build some really beautiful buildings in Valheim, and I've been playing around a lot with Valheim ever since I got it, trying to build nice-looking houses. Nice-looking houses. I built a chapel around a set of rocks, a dolmen, I believe it's called. That's like 3 big monoliths, megaliths, giant rocks with a big megalith on top. I built one of those. It's a cool game, and I want to play around with that, with seeing what can we make and how good can we make it look. Can we imitate different architectural styles, make them look good? Can we make nice-looking villages to maybe role-play with with other players? Can we do that? Can we go on maybe, like, I don't know, hunting expeditions with other guys? Okay. How's this little sugar plantation going? It's going fine, but it could be improved. There's a collection of Peruvian music I'd really like to play for you. Anyway, but wait, that's not all. On top of Tropico and on top of Valheim, I would also like to play, and maybe this is a later stage thing, maybe I should be less ambitious. I probably should be. What was the other game that I wanted to play? Oh, yeah. I got Planet Coaster on the Steam sale, the Midweek Madness sale that they had recently for Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo. I debated between Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo, and I would like to get Planet Zoo, honestly. If you have no idea what Planet Zoo is, if you've ever heard of Zoo Tycoon, it's basically that, but in 3D. If you have no idea what that is, it's basically a tremendously customizable virtual zoo that you can build with lots of different effects. Crazy amounts of effects. Strobe lights, jets, water fountains, and not to mention building all kinds of buildings. I would really like to build some really cool parks in Planet Coaster. Maybe Planet Zoo if I decide to get that. If I decide to get it on sale. I think it might be too late for that at this point, but if it is still on sale, I might choose to get that because I've had a pretty good week. And what I'd really like to do is make really satisfying parks in Planet Coaster. And maybe Planet Zoo. Okay, how's the economy doing at this point? Okay, we got plenty of free jobs. We need to get people more housing, and we need to pay them more, frankly. But each thing in its own time, because this is all kind of coming together while I'm hodgepodgedly talking about other things, so... Although I think I've got the idea more or less right at this point. I think I've got it down. Yeah. One government building I can't afford it yet. But it will come. Can't afford it, can't afford a bunker. What can I afford? In order to raise the standard of living just a wee bit. Another church, maybe? Maybe that will pacify the army? Heh, yeah, right. Wishful thinking at its finest, but... But anyway, I do want to make the goal of this channel not just city building, and not just building nice-looking cities, and not just building profitable cities. I want to make the goal of this channel to make cities that aesthetically and functionally satisfy me as a player and you as a viewer. I think there's a lack of satisfaction in the world because while we technically have a lot in our society, we produce a lot of goods, we produce a lot of food, there's technically a lot less unemployment these days, at least where I am. While this is all technically true, I feel people are still very dissatisfied, and it's because while they have their material needs cared for, well, one thing they're lacking in life is purpose. And I think religion does a lot to correct this, but a lot of people are doubtful about religion, and I don't blame them. There's a lot of trust broken, especially between the public and the Catholic Church. I'm a Catholic, and yeah, I get it. I get why people don't trust.
Some Colombian barons have larger armies than ours, sir. This is
Presidente, a famous Russian dissident was poisoned and died. European media are blaming.
I get why some people are dissatisfied with the church, and why they're dissatisfied with the government, frankly. I'm dissatisfied with the government.
Fine day, isn't it? The weather seems particularly nice. Enough beating around the bush. We would like a small loan. It's not easy running Europe, you know?
Fair enough, Lord of all Europe, Lord Chuffney. So how about it? A gentleman wouldn't begrudge another gentleman such a small favor. Give Europe 5,000 Tropican dollars. Did I pull it off? Was that a good imitation? Huh? 58 minutes in, and I finally get the opportunity to pull off a voice. Would that be worthwhile? Probably not. Nah, let's not do that. The Middle East I'm more concerned about. Go away. You're fine. You're not sinking anytime soon. Lord Chuffin snuffs a lot.
Presidente, as you knew,
Yeah. We've been through this song and dance before. Let's do the environment. Let's praise... We don't really need to praise the religious. We've been doing well. Let's... no, that talks Mother Earth bullshit. Let's not do that. You know, let's praise the environmentalists, actually. It's worth it. Swallowing a bit of our pride, a bit. Sufficient army? I don't know. See, the problem is my profits are beginning to fall, and I really hate talking that way. Because I'm not trying to reduce my people to profit, but the fact is I can't improve their quality of life without the service of mammon. In other words, turning a profit. What is the best way to spin this? You'd think high average wage, except for the fact that, well, okay, maybe I should. You know what? I might spin it that way, actually, because I might build some lumber factories. That is one factory I'm willing to build.
Proud citizens of Tropico.
Let's do that.
I want to stress the great progress we have made. Production has
Before I do that, I'm definitely going to need to build a wind turbine.
In some areas,
So,
the 5-year plan in 4 years.
what say I start a... What chance do you think there is that I start a riot because I've built a mine?
Yes, there are problems.
I have a suspicion
There will always be problems.
that this is
Especially in the
going to
current
start a
economic
faction
situation.
disaster
The
if I'm not
pollution in
careful.
cities, about which I hear so much these days, is one of them. And it will be resolved.
I have a very
As will
strong
all
feeling
others
that's going to
in
start an
time as the
environmentalist
global
faction
economy
disaster,
stabilizes.
unfortunately.
Through the years of my presidency, I have received your gratitude.
How's the economy doing? Okay, good. Wages are going up. Not fast enough, but they are going up.
Masters, my employers. Now is the time to express my gratitude for the environmentalists, protecting the gifts that Mother Nature has bestowed on Tropico.
Maybe I shouldn't be so harsh on the environmentalists. Mother Nature is a
The past is
common
gone from our
metaphor.
shores, but that is not enough. I will bring the future to Tropico. In my next mandate, I will pursue policies that will enrich all of us. Tropicans will have the highest average wages in the Caribbean.
highest average wages. Oh boy. Let's make that happen. Oh boy.
Victory.
5 new buildings? Oh yeah, I've got at least 5 in the tank as we're talking. Why not get some free cred with the Nationals for something I'm already doing? Yeah, let's do this. Especially because we're gonna need more food anyway. Ranches can only do so much. Speaking of which, are we having any issues with them? No. 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 And no. Okay, good. Good. That's what I like to hear. I might indeed just go ahead and leave that be. Leave that, that parcel next to the goats be, I should say. More, specifically. I was trying to build a construction office here, right? Let's get on with that. Actually, I'll fast track that one so that I can continue building houses and be quick about it. But yeah, my plan for this channel, honestly, was not just to talk about the faith as a Catholic, which is important to me. Not just to make a pretense of being religious and helping the poor by helping Tropicans, but to actually try and do some vaguely concrete good. I'm not sure how good this channel is in its own right, but I would certainly like to try to at least give some vision of something that I barely understand myself. But, why not? Why not at least try? Try to imagine a nicer world. A world where people do things together for their own good. Not because they're good, not because they're smart, but maybe just because they have the right people to give them an idea what would be the right thing to do. Maybe that's wishful thinking on my part. I suspect there's probably no small amount of that on my part. And maybe I just want to make some cool buildings. Maybe I just want to make some cool scenarios, some cool cities, some cool kind of vaguely functional societies. I don't know. But I think you can make some really beautiful things in Tropico and in Valheim. And there's a great deal of potential in Planet Coaster. I'm positive of it. And I want to exercise that because I feel kind of powerless in the world I'm currently in, and I liked at least to make a pretense of having some power. It'd help my sanity very tremendously, of which I have very little. And if you're kind of in the same boat I am, ooh, we've gotten to 50%. Yes, that's a good sign. Oh, that's a sign of good things to come. Maybe you'd like to stick around, you know, click the subscribe button if you're on YouTube, or follow me if you're on Twitch. If you too are a disempowered individual who is looking to forget his troubles and think maybe somebody cares about me, or at least cares about somebody in the world, maybe you'd like to pretend that, at least for a hot minute. What was the song from Over the Garden Wall? Give me a second. Let's see. How the gentle wind beckons through the leaves as autumn's colors fall. Somewhere lost in the clouded annals of history lies a place that few have seen, a mysterious place called the unknown, where long-forgotten stories are revealed to those who travel through the wood. Dancing in a swirl of golden memories, the loveliest lies of all. I don't know. Part of the reason I feel badly about what I'm doing is because it is kind of a fantasy. It is kind of an escape of a world which one can sometimes feel is slowly going down the drain. On the other hand, a game like this is sometimes an escape of that, and sometimes we do need an escape.
Buenos días.
Maybe I should build more pubs for these guys. They don't seem particularly
Talk
happy
fast, I
about
don't
their
have all
lot
day.
in life. Maybe I should indulge them. Actually, you know, maybe that is a good idea, now that I think of it. Some more casa publicas, public houses, or bars for you. Public house is a venerable institute in Britain. It's less common to find an actual public house in the United States. For those of you who don't know what a public house is, a public house, at least to my understanding, I am myself an American, so I admit I probably have a great deal of ignorance on this, but from what I understand, a public house is a place where everybody, singles, families, where everybody comes together to socialize. Not just to drink, but to eat and to talk, and, well, as the name implies, it's a place where the public meets. It's a housing place for the public to socialize. When I was a kid, I kind of wondered why well, I didn't wonder. I kind of wished that there were just buildings where people could meet and talk and not necessarily do anything else, where eating wasn't necessarily a form of making money, or drinking wasn't for the sake of making money. You just come in, you talk, and maybe you rent the space just to do that. I realize, in hindsight, that that's the entire point, really. Or that's at least half the point of a bar or a restaurant. Is to create a social space for people to talk and to enjoy each other's company. That this isn't a fluke. What do you mean there's too many shacks? Shut up.
Our hot topic today, housing. Don't you think there are too many homeless people on the island, Penultimo?
Homeless? If there were a single homeless person in Tropico, I would personally build him his very own shack.
Yeah, but to live in a shack...
A home is a home is a home, Sonny. Today's shacks are tomorrow's mansions, as long as we faithfully follow El Presidente, right?
Right.
I despise Penultimo's unshaking faith in El Presidente, i.e. me. Enough about that for the moment, though. Let's build our first and only factory. Well, our only type of factory, let's say. A simple lumber mill is a very easy thing to build. It probably does need power to be of any use, but it doesn't violate my standards of a sort of a ruritopia. On account of the simple reason that I feel like it.
The people demand actions. Your signature on this edict.
Tempting. I'll think about it. But I mean, come on! In the past year, I mean, we've already gotten... Geez, we've already gotten happiness up so much. Are you people really so dissatisfied? Geesh. I find that in a game of Tropico, the first...
Disaster, Presidente! Our only true friends, the Loyalists, are showing signs of doubt in your leadership.
Yay! Yes! Finally! Maybe we can crush them out of existence. I hope so. I hate the Loyalists. They're complete idiots. They think that the government works well because I'm great? Oh, please. Okay, refinery blueprints. Is that worthwhile? Nearly. The only problem with exporting oil products is the simple fact that, well, okay, for one thing, the oil refinery costs $1,500, but also I need college-educated workers, which I can't really afford, without having either an industrialized society or a tourist society, and I'm not really prepared for either of those just yet. I would certainly like to be, though, but we're still working on it. And we're also working on getting people housed, which, I grant, would be easier if I just build apartments and tenements, but I want my agrarian fantasy land, damn it! And you're not gonna take it away from me. Okay. And it's going alright so far. It's not great, but we're getting there. Part of the problem with agrarian fantasy lands is that... Okay, I'm gonna need to charge some rent here. Okay, maybe I need to stop importing workers at least for the moment. Maybe, but maybe not. How many are in the Loyalist faction? 8? Good. What is the term I'm looking for? Natural selection will breed you out easily. Natural selection will breed you out soon enough. Yes. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Unless, of course, I just can't get any damn money in, which is seeming, and concerningly, seeming to be a possibility. A very strong one.
We plan to air a live reading of The Naughty Toucan, Miss Pineapple's favorite book for the children in the grad school. But it turns out that the book is not meant for children at all.
Yeah. Sexual innuendo. Everybody's favorite. Sexual innuendo. Yeah, we know. Everybody has the humor of a college-age student when it comes to sexuality. C.S. Lewis, I think, once observed in the Screw Tape Letters, which is kind of an interesting book. So, of course, Lewis is an Anglican. Clive Staples Lewis is an Anglican, and he's meditating on what a devil from hell might think like in trying to get a soul onto the dark side. And one of the things that he observes is... Shoot, where was I going? That some people make jokes about sex because they find sex funny.
Presidente, may your children be
yes,
many
yes,
and your
yes.
camels always healthy.
I've decided...
I want to discuss trade with you.
I've decided I want to do that. Yeah, let's do that one. Okay, some people bring up sex jokes because they find sex funny. And some people bring up sex jokes because they find jokes about sex to be... how did he put it? I forget exactly how he put it. Some people just find sex funny, and some people find funniness about sex sexy, if you take my meaning. Some people have what would be called a prurient interest in sex, and they make jokes not because of the humor of it, but because they want to think about sex. I don't talk about sex in explicit terms usually, and that's for the best. It's for my betterment and for yours, I think. It doesn't do me any good to think very much about that topic for very long. Ooh.
Presidente, handling money is an important task. We need to hire someone to do it.
I would like to, but do we have anybody? I don't usually see this one, so I'm going to read this one. After all, we can't be everywhere, and money might be lost because of a missed opportunity. Find a courageous and intelligent person to keep an eye on things. Hire an economic minister. Let's do that, actually.
The people demand actions.
I'll think about it. Food for the people is actually a very good edict. If you have the people for it. I will get a Minister of the Interior, though. That would be helpful to get. I'll do food for the people. I think I will do food for the people as well. I think that will be useful in the end. Seriously. Okay, yeah, we are really having a homeless problem here. Let's not import more people until we can fix that somewhat. Skilled workers, I think, will be whom we want. Maybe we should get a clinic up and running while we're at it. I really want a power saw or something. Something to improve the output of this lumber mill, because otherwise it's just gonna eat our log supply and not give anything in exchange. We still need humanitarian aid, simply because we do. Because we don't have any clinics or anything, and that's still going to be a problem. We could do nuclear testing as soon as we get the next boat in. which will permanently lower our rating with the environmentalists, but I'm not that concerned about them, to be sadly honest. I'm not doing this for them per se. Maybe I should build a police station down here too. I'm not building these kind of agrarian semi-agrarian communes anyway, for the sake of environmentalism. Though if you played Tropico 3, you might think that, and I wouldn't blame you for that. One of the scenarios in the Absolute Power campaign, one of the very first ones, is a quasi-agrarian society where everybody lives in country houses. And that's actually kind of my inspiration for this particular playthrough. I kind of want to do something like that, but I would like, when I can get the money forward, to also do houses. Not country houses, but, you know, like the $2,000 ones that house two people and give quality 70 housing. That would be nice. I would like to do that. Not enough generals. Yes, yes, yes. Man, I'm tired of waiting.
Venerable leader, the mighty Chinese...
Mighty Chinese... I think I will do that, though, because that'll help dig me out of my hole. Llama wool is pretty easy to get my hands on. Building ranches is very profitable in this case, and makes a lot of sense. I just need to get the money forward. Again, I do need to work on housing. That's a primary concern here. But I'm not going to be able to pay for them without having jobs and resources, and we need more of those because we've got slightly too many service industries at this time. I hate to put it that way, but it, I think, is true. I have the sad feeling it is true that we do have just a few too many service industries, and we need to make a little more profit. The service of mammon is not a pleasant thing, but it is necessary in this world. Let's build some more. Okay, and on that topic, let's build some more country houses over here. Country houses are smack dab in the middle of housing ratings, and they can be expanded upon with fire stations. That's a service building I'd like to get up, but okay. There is one thing that I do need to do, though, and I need more soldiers. I also need generals, but those require college-educated workers who are going to be expensive, and I'm not interested in that at the moment. I'm already hemorrhaging money. I don't need to keep doing that. And, you know, I might just make more bunkhouses in the meantime, as they are more cost-effective at housing workers. Although for the moment that seems to be working fine. But this lumber camp here, we're gonna build okay. We're gonna build a row of bunkhouses just to keep people housed. Good thing I've got, like, 3 construction shops. That's going to be very helpful. Where else are people congregating in order to stay housed? They're still congregating in the fields over here, so build a couple of rows of bunkhouses here. Drop the rent to 1. Because these houses are not worth it. Okay. There. Okay. We've got the llama ranches up. Those are going to be quite useful. Have people build over there. Yeah, we managed to export $28,000 worth of stuff, and that's great. Don't get me wrong, but... You're just going to do that. Speaking of which, what is our chance of having a coup? Threat level. Criminals, soldiers... Coup threat. Ah, the soldiers are still unhappy, which is a problem. Oh, and I squandered an opportunity to get food for the people, which would have been nice to have. Ah, well. How is the old economy doing, by the way? Sugar is still our cash crop, but smoked beef is a... And smoked beef is a distant second. Logs, ugh, definitely not worth it. I say we bump factory workers up. Maybe that will encourage them to work faster. More likely that will at least keep them happy in a way that most high school educated jobs kind of just don't justify. Okay. Pause. Hold on. We're gonna make proper houses now. That'll get the housing quality up. And more importantly, it'll give some incentive for people to work harder. Not a lot, because I just don't have the money to build very many of these at this point. But it's a good start. It's a step in the right direction. Alright, so we've got that. I'm going to throw down one more lumber mill, I think. Alright, and that ought to be a good start to getting a better economy. Okay, and before I do that, activate food for the people, get that going. Export oil products. I would need to have an oil reserve. Do I? I can't afford it anyway. Not an issue yet. Quick build. I really would prefer to build something other than bunkhouses, but I just don't have the money, and like I said, I'm not building apartments at this point. Maybe I should, just temporarily. I don't know if that's viable, but I've always been the kind of guy who prefers to do things directly when possible. Which may be a weakness, which may be a moral and strategic weakness on my part. Probably is, but it is what it is, so... I will not destroy that until we have a housing shortage. Well, not a until we have a housing surplus, I think is what I'm trying to say. Until I have that, I will keep that particular tenement up. But I'd rather not, if possible. But what can you do? Anyway, things are building up, though. Okay. One last thing. I could do that, but that doesn't seem worthwhile to me. I will do that. That's something that's important to me. Frankly, at this time, contraception didn't exist. So... A, I'm being historically accurate anyway, but also B, it's just not something I'm gonna do anyway. It's just not something I'm interested in doing, is fostering. But that's a topic for another time. That's something on me. That's something in church teaching, if you want to look it up. But it's also, it's a thorny issue, but also one that, yeah. We're in a position where contraception doesn't exist anyway, so may as well just prevent it from the start and keep, like... I don't like revolutions. There's a lot of thinking behind why I did that, and, yeah, I'm not gonna get into it right now. But I did it.
Tropico's population has reached 250 people. We are slowly but surely turning into the China of the Caribbean.
And we're gonna continue to be. Expect to see us at 1,000 and very baby-laden within the next 10 years. Oh yeah, China, we're coming for you. We're gonna be 1,000 in just a decade. Your one-child policy? Oh yeah. You ain't seen nothing yet. Your one-child policy is gonna look like a forethought once we're done. Now, is that faction extinguished yet? No? Aww. Someday. Someday soon.
Presidente, several foreign gunships were spotted circling our waters.
We do have a foreign office, don't we? Maybe it would be best if we did some pro-USSR policies for a bit.
We need proper healthcare facilities on our island.
Okay, a bunker. Now I'm, panicky is maybe not the word, but I'm... Oh, I should build a foreign office if I actually want diplomacy. To go back to this whole idealism versus realism thing, there's points to both. Both are kind of wrong in certain ways. Both can be right in certain ways. I think a pro-USSR stance, just to get them off my back, would be a good idea at this time.
Good morning, Tropico. You might have been awoken this morning by the gunfire from the ships of our comrades from the USSR. Do not panic, as our friends are just practicing for an elaborate parade. I assure you that the ships are not here to invade our island, and Russian relations have not dropped to an all-time low.
Good news, my Presidente! The Loyalists have regained their faith in you.
Aw, damn. I was hoping they'd exterminate themselves. Extinguish them.
Presidente, do you know that people call me names because of my chosen lifestyle?
You mean like tart? You mean like whore? You mean like... Okay, I'm not gonna mention names like that. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
President, the U.S. Senate is not happy with you and expects urgent measures.
Yes, they want canned coffee. Is that worthwhile? Hell, let's add it to the list. And do we finally... No, we don't. Do we have somebody occupying that? Okay, good.
Excelencia?
Good. Is she learning enough? It's gonna be a while. Llama wool, though. How's that coming along? How's the llama wool coming along?
The Association of Tropican Officers has written a letter of gratitude for your attention to the needs of the army, sir.
They say they're happy just verbally expressing their intentions. For now. I used to think that that meant that they were wailing their fists against walls and beating up comrades or knives or something like that, rather than swearing or spitting or something like that. I now realize that that just means they're happy to just complain rather than take over the island's government and make life absolutely fucking miserable for everybody. But no, seriously. I'm glad my playthrough's not going to end because of a military coup. I'm glad we've established that, because that would have been rather sad. Man, I want an economy minister. So badly. There are no rebels? Good. Thank heavens. Okay. Okay, we're in a good place. This playthrough has gone extremely well, all things considered. I'm still dependent upon camps, which is a problem. But not an insurmountable one, we are finding. Okay. So in the interior, we've got these farming communes going up. They're not perfect yet, but they're coming along. We have our palace out here overlooking everything, and it's hunky-dorky and all that. How's wages doing, by the way? They're doing fine, and homelessness is going down, but it's still not perfect by any means. Let's set the wages for our lumberjacks here to something decent. Still waiting for that gal to learn how to run a market. What else? I'm not calling it yet, although I have needed to use the lavatory for a bit. But I'll be fine.
Buenas tardes.
What else? Okay. Where would be a good place to put this college? I'm not sure where I want to put this college at. Every place that I have is really built around resource gathering at this point. Wait a minute. Maybe at the Tropican dungeon? I kind of like the idea. Why would I want a college at this point? Good question. A college would provide me with several benefits. One of which is bankers. Bankers are useful. Everybody does banking these days, even Muslims, contrary to what they will tell you. It's a different kind of banking. It doesn't operate on interest, which is considered usury, which is a sin, according to the Catholic Church and according to Muslims. So props to them for at least trying to maintain moral integrity to some degree by not charging interest, or at least making a pretense of not charging interest on loans. But Islamic banking, okay, it doesn't charge interest, but it still finds a way to make money by giving people money. It's not renting money, but they find ways.
Congratulations, my Presidente! Your wise political juggling defended liberty on Tropico. Viva!
Thank goodness. I got our boys to calm down. I got the gunboats to leave. Okay, here's the crazy thing. Okay, this game, I remember setting this game up. Politically, it was a lot more stable, or was supposed to be. And the game that I played previously, the one that I started this channel on, was based on an island that supposedly was politically very dangerous. And yet here, I almost had a coup. I almost had a gunboat here. What the hell? What? It should not be doing this, because I know I set the difficulty sliders to be easier here, so that I could focus on building something nice that I was trying to do, but alas. Alas, here we are. Okay, how's the housing coming up? It's coming. Slowly but surely. Hey, don't call me Shirley. Job quality, service quality, service... Churches are doing alright.
Presidente, our Minister of Foreign Affairs has caused a diplomatic incident by using a fork during the official sushi party organized by the Japanese ambassador.
What the hell. I usually do end up firing them when they make
One
gaffes.
of our ministers recently committed a gaffe.
Sorry to interrupt, dear Sonny, but we have urgent news. Bobsledding will be added as a new event for the next Pan-Caribbean Games.
And how is this more urgent than our minister's gaffe?
That's a very good question, Sonny, but unfortunately, we have no more time. Stay tuned for more on Caribbean bobsledding after this song.
I'm definitely... Okay. I am resolved next week, at least next week, if I don't stream tomorrow or some point earlier in the week, I am resolved to get Kevin MacLeod's Tropical music list going. And in any game that's not Tropico, with all this copyrighted music that they get rather touchy about, I am highly resolved to get Kevin MacLeod's Tropical music playlist going, and to give him credit. For those of you who have no idea who Kevin MacLeod is, he's the guy who runs Incompetech. If you don't know what that is, you've probably heard some royalty-free music around. You've probably heard common tracks, like if you listen to Medieval, you've probably heard the same 3 medieval or quasi-medieval tracks being played over and over in games that use royalty-free music. Some of those tracks might have been written by a certain gentleman by the name of Kevin MacLeod, who runs a website called Incompetech. This website provides music that people don't have to pay for in order to use it in commercial services. Like, for instance, I will be playing his music because it's good quality music that's kind of like Tropico's music. But I'm not going to get a copyright strike for using it, and I can monetize if I so desire. I highly recommend that you watch this with some kind of an ad blocker. I'm not going to repeat that, but I recommend it. For many reasons, but... even if I were monetizing, I would still be using Kevin MacLeod stuff rather than this. But even though I'm not monetizing, what am I trying to say? Even though I'm not monetizing, I still want to use Kevin MacLeod's music because A, it's good music, especially his salsa type music is actually written quite well from what I listened to in it, and it's not going to get me in trouble with Twitch. Mentioning advertising might, but I won't use copyrighted music and compound the issues that I have, if you take my meaning. I'm not going to quick build that. But I am going to build wind turbines here. And again, next time we are going to have music. But for now, we're going to build turbines here so that I can export lumber next time. Now, I saw my trade go up. It went up because of sugar. Great. Smoked beef is getting up higher. That's excellent. And all this in spite of the fact that I had food for the people passed. So great, excellent.
Comrade, I have a
Okay,
secret.
export sugar, I'm already doing that. Once I finish this llama wool one, or I build a turbine, I will accept that one from the USS. Okay. Part of the reason I'm rushing is because I really need to use the Lavi. I really, really need to go. And it's getting close to 11 anyway, so I'm very, very tempted to end this stream early just so that I can give myself a little bit of sweet relief. You know what I mean? I don't want to be graphic. I don't feel that's necessary. As, but suffice to say, I've got something else on my mind. Something I'd rather not have, but which I have no control over.
Green power is here. A new turbine has been built on the island. By popular demand, it rotates against the wind.
But isn't that a huge fan, then?
No, that's enemy propaganda.
I don't understand what's funny about that. I hope it's not funny and it's a form of anti-humor. But whether it is or not, I'm working through. Housing's going up. It actually looks quite nice, I must say. Why am I only paying them that? They need more than that. They deserve more than that, given all they're doing. Holy crap. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Good. Can we appoint an economy man? Finally! Yes! Alright. And a golden stat? No! No, I hate loyalists. Go away. Alright. Well, this has been very successful. Thanks to me ratcheting down the difficulty, but also thanks to me trying to play to my strengths as best I can. This has been good. I might stop here for now, but I will definitely pick up here next Friday, because I am enjoying the whole Tropican experience. Not gonna lie. It's been good. I think I think I will finish, since I have the money, by placing a police station, because we apparently very, very badly need one. We'll do that. We will build a church, yet another church, I should say, over by our lumber camp, by our logging camp, I should say. Lumber camps are a different game entirely. Maybe a... I can think of so many things that I want to do. Okay. Okay, police station, church, and a... There's one more thing that I wanted. What was the other thing I wanted before I... No, we're not even going to think about that. Oil refinery. Yeah, that's the last thing we're going to do, right? We can do... Yeah, okay, good. We can do oil here, and then I'm going to call it a night, because if I don't, things are going to get very ugly. For me, not for you. You're fine. You're fine. You're lovely. I love you, people. I love you. It's just, well, as the saying goes, nature calls. Okay, I plopped that down. I'm gonna build a Teamster's office, and I'm gonna make that a high priority contact. And next time, we're probably gonna be rolling in money, and we're gonna make this really beautiful. I don't know why I'm doing an oil refinery in a supposed Ruritopia, but, whatever. Because I said I would. Okay. But it's been a pleasure, guys. Love you guys. See you next week. Maybe before. We'll see. God love ya. And a happy Ash Wednesday if I don't see you before then.